Hey guys, welcome to this week's lesson segment on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Jase Hintz here with you as always, and this week we're going to start going over the different ways of sighting in your bow and your broadheads and the whole 9 yards on getting prepared for hunting, because this is the time of year again where you should start shooting, and a lot of people are going to start getting new setups and they're going to get their bow set up how they want it and everything. But once you're past getting it set up how you want it, getting the bow that you want, having your broadheads, your arrows, the whole 9 yards, then you got to get your bow to shoot for you, and you got to get your arrows to shoot for your bow as well. When I'm saying things like that, I'm talking you can make little adjustments to your bow to make you shoot better, as in your draw length, your peep height to get more consistent anchor points, the weight that you have distributed on your bow. Obviously you have your quiver on the one side, maybe a sidebar would help you out. There's a lot of little things like that that'll help out, and within the upcoming weeks here, me and Mark Gruber are going to help you out on sighting in your broadheads, how to make sure that you're going to be doing it the most efficient way. Again, you don't want to use a lot of wear and tear on your broadheads as well. You don't want to be using a dull broadhead when you're hunting. But today I'm just going to basically start by going over sighting in your bow when you got your first new setup with your bow hunting setup or whatever you would like to call it. And again, when you start doing this, start with field points, okay? So many people jump right in, grab your broadheads, start shooting, they get discouraged for no reason, and it just makes them think, okay, now I got to change my broadheads, now I got to change my arrows, now I got to change my setup. No, most of the time if you just start with your field points and start pinpointing your little things there, you can get half your flaws out and you'll be good to go with your broadheads. It'll be a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable, and you'll shoot a lot better. So when you start shooting, get your brand new bow, your new setup, your bow from last year, whatever it is, start by first of all shooting nice and close. Most people haven't picked up their bow since, last November or December and haven't shot it since. I mean, even the guys that shoot winter 3D, you're looking at, maybe February, so that's a couple months off already. You got to make sure that you're ready when you start shooting your broadheads to be safe and obviously shoot the best you can. So when you shoot your field points, start shooting whatever distance is comfortable for you. 10 yards, just get a nice 10-yard group. When you're shooting, don't worry about where you're hitting your first couple rounds. Again, if you haven't shot in a while, your group's going to be a lot bigger than it used to be. You might, if you start moving your sight, it's going to look even worse and you're going to get more discouraged. The big thing I always do is I shoot 20 yards, I'll set up my block, I'll make sure I'm sighted in. I'll shoot 1 or 2 at 10 to make sure I'm not going to miss the target, obviously, if I just put a sight on or just moved my peep sight or got new arrows. Start nice and close, make sure you're going to hit the target, then get to a comfortable distance and start shooting. But once you're close enough where you're not going to be missing the target or anything, once you're close enough to the center, don't worry about moving your sight right away. Take 2 or 3 rounds to just make good shots, good follow-throughs, good form, and just get your group nice and tight, tighter and tighter. You might be, if the X-ring's in the center and you're hitting high right by 2 inches, but you have all 6 arrows up there, that's great. Keep pounding them up there. Don't worry about it. Get 3 or 4 good rounds, get comfortable, and then start moving your sight. Sight in with your field points, get comfortable with them, get your 20, get your 30, get your 40, however far you expect to shoot your broadheads, because if your field points don't shoot that far, your broadheads sure ain't gonna, because they're a lot harder to tune. They're a lot more difficult to get them to shoot exactly correct, as have your arrows flying right and everything. There's just a lot more to them, and it's more wind drag, everything. So once you're comfortable with your field points at your distances that you're planning on shooting your broadheads at, come back up to the first distance, get your broadhead ready, take a shot with it, see where you're at, okay? Everybody gets all mad when all of a sudden their broadhead doesn't hit the same spot as their field point. That's not weird, that's not abnormal. It's definitely something that happens to a lot of people. Very seldom are you going to get a broadhead that flies exactly the same, especially if you have fixed blades, which I personally shoot, so I don't even worry about it. You're going to shoot at 20 yards all of a sudden, and everybody has a sight that you can move, whether it's with an Allen wrench, whether it's just by loosening a screw and sliding it. However it works, you can loosen it and you can move it. Once you have your distances at 20, 30, and 40 set up and you're shooting a broadhead, you shouldn't have to move your ups and downs really, except for your first time. So I'm sighted in 20, 30, 40, I got my 3 pins, come back up to 20 yards, get your broadheads on. I always just shoot 1 broadhead, because if you shoot 1 broadhead, if there's one thing wrong with it, that's all going to be the exact same every time. If you have 3 broadheads, one of them's bent, all of a sudden you got a bad group, you don't know where you're truly shooting. I always shoot 1 broadhead, go get it. 1 broadhead, go get it. Shooting at the same circle so I know where my group still is. So I got my field points all sighted in at 20 yards, I'm good to go. I grab my broadhead, I shoot it, I'm hitting high right. Okay, maybe it was me. Go pull it out, shoot again, high right again. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the whole bracket. I'm going to move all 3 pins high and right, because all 3 of them should still be in the exact same distance apart. If you sight in your first distance, your second and third one should be right on or extremely close. So once you get sighted in at 20, you're safer to shoot 30 and 40. Don't go 40 yards with your field points, put a broadhead on and let it fling, because if you are off by 3 inches at 20 yards, well, you're off by 9 at 40 yards, or depending how fast you're shooting in the whole 9 yards. But definitely think about sighting in closer, be more confident, have a better group, and if your field points don't hit where your broadheads are, don't be surprised. move your sight, don't worry about it, you're still going to be shooting fine. So if you guys got any questions, again, feel free to ask us. You want to check out some new products, we got a bunch on my Bucks and Bulls to come and hang out and see what we got, you know, test try some things. And again, good luck this year. Hopefully you guys can tune in next week. We'll go over some more tips on getting your hunting bow set up and see how it goes from there. As always, have a good week, guys.